touching on the top prop bets in the NBA today. All right, so getting into the board for today, just kind of looking at it, we don't have a lot of props just yet. It is only going to be a 3-game slate with a lot of these games taking place in the afternoon, so probably not going to get that many great bets, and that's kind of what we're seeing as the day has begun thus far. We'll start with the one that is looking like it's going to be the best NBA prop that we're getting today. So looking at it, Bogdanovic over 21.5 points is one that's looking like it's pretty strong. So the biggest thing with this prop is on average, the sportsbooks are giving him a minus 114 chance to get over 22.17 points. So we can see that the prop line that the sportsbooks are giving us is slightly higher than the prop line that PrizePicks is giving us. So that's going to be encouraging. I currently have him projected to get 25 points in this one as well. And the biggest thing with this is obviously with any Detroit game is going to be, is the game going to stay close? So looking at it, we can kind of see this game is not a game that is projected to stay close. Actually, it's probably going to be a blowout, and the game over and under isn't that high. So that's the biggest question here. And actually, this is kind of interesting. So DK Sportsbook is different than some of the other sportsbooks on average for Bogdanovic's over and under. So just kind of an interesting line. Personally, I like it. I like betting the over here, but it's really just, is the game going to stay close, and how long will the game stay close for? That's the biggest question we have. So against Toronto earlier this season, it did stay close. Only had 18 points in that one. Not the best night shooting, 2 for 8. And you would say Toronto is a good defense, so that could be the reason as to why. And he's projected basically right at his average points per minute. So, or points per game. So to me, it is one that kind of stands out just odds-wise, but we can see we are getting some discrepancies between the sports books. So one of the best prop lines that we're getting today is going to be Jaden Ivey under 1.5 3-pointers made. Once again, this game could be a blowout, so that would kind of favor this bet. We can see on DK Sportsbook, they have this line set at minus 145. Which is obviously a very good number. They're giving about a 59% chance for the under to hit. My only worry here is that I have everything basically projected for him to get over. Given the matchup, given the minutes that he should get, I have it projected to get over. Now, if it's a blowout, obviously probably won't get a full allotment of minutes, although he's a younger guy, so I don't see the minutes changing too much. It's kind of a risky bet, but I am one that tends to favor the really strong odds that we're getting. So I did want to call this out because the odds on average across all the sportsbook is minus 144 for the under. Okay. So this is a situation in which it kind of seems like they're saying that this game is going to be a blowout. Thus the under is going to hit. And that's what this one is coming in at as well. So like another prop would be Tatum under 5.5 assists. Now it does kind of slightly worry me that the Celtics are going to be without Jaylen Brown. But still, if we look at the per 36 average for Tatum with Brown off the court, he still only averages 5 assists. So under the average here. Okay, so that's going to be in our favor. So that's going to be intriguing to me. I'm actually very curious as to like where Malcolm Brogdon comes in because he is someone that averages 24 points, 6 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 40 fantasy points per 36 with Brown off the court. That's going to be the move today, I think. We're going to get some number on Malcolm Brogdon, and it's going to be a number that we should be hammering. Okay. The only worry, obviously, is the game blowing out. If it blows out, though, you kind of expect the studs to be the ones doing that. But looking at it, just pulling it up on DK Sportsbook as well, they have it set at minus 135. If I pull it up here, we can see across the board about minus 141. So it's still a good number there. I have him projected to get 5.37, so slightly in our favor there. You can see all the numbers are kind of saying it's going to be close. Okay. On average, he averages 4.5 assists, okay, based off of his minutes. Probably going to get around 4.5 assists, like his minutes aren't going to change at all. If anything, they could be reduced, and I think that's why we're seeing the under, once again, being favored here. And then, so the next one we could do would be Derrick White under 4.5 rebounds. Another one where the under is just being favored here, okay? So this is a stack in which we can see the sportsbooks are favoring, okay? And also, it is very much game script dependent. So we're getting about minus 138 here on average for this bet. The issue is that based off of the projection, we should be betting the over, not the under. But the under is what's being favored right now. Okay, so we got 2 players where the projections are saying we should slightly favor the over and one that's saying the under. Now, once again, I tend to believe the sports books, so this would be the move just given the odds. I mean, we are getting 3 bets in a game in which on average the line is 141. So those are pretty good numbers and they correlate decently. Now, like I said, I want a Malcolm Brogdon prop. That's what I want. I want to get that number on Brogdon because I feel like it's going to be too low. You know how they haven't really been able to adjust for Jordan Poole, like his per 36 numbers with Curry off the court? I think we could see that potentially with Malcolm Brogdon today. And so that's really it, guys. Obviously, it's a small board right now. It's a 2-game slate. And so let's go ahead and get into some other bets. So the first strong NHL bet that we're going to get is Leon over 2.5 shots on goal. Now, he hurt us on February 9th. He didn't get a single shot on goal. That was painful, okay? That was a bad night for hockey bets. I think they went like 0 for 5. Bounced back fine since then. I mean, we are just chasing hockey bets in which have the best lines. That's why yesterday's one was able to hit. We are just chasing the ones that had the best lines. Basically, bets that have minus 140, minus 145. And if we pull this one up, DK Sportsbook currently has the over set at minus 145. That is just such a good number that we're going to get. And so if you wanted to, you could do this bet with something like Jaden Ivey as well, where we're favoring the sportsbook's odds. Okay, we're getting 2 bets in there where we're getting minus 145 odds. So we bet the over here. And this is a weird day, guys. We are getting several bets today in which the projections don't exactly match up with the numbers that we're getting. That's the biggest worry. At the same time, like I said, I tend to favor the sports books. Okay, they're going to be right more times than not. And if there is a situation in which maybe you're like, no, I think the sports book's wrong. Well, that's kind of the beauty of this video, is that if you think the sports book's wrong, you can go ahead and bet the plus number that we're getting over there. So looking at Alex Ovechkin here is going to be an interesting one as well for less than 4.5 shots on goal. So if we look at it, we're getting minus 140 odds there, which once again, very good odds. Okay, typically speaking, we don't get that in NBA as much. We did today thus far. And maybe that's the thing. It's just with the NFL here, the Super Bowl, people are going to be distracted. So we could potentially get some good lines that we typically weren't getting. So that's going to be an encouraging thing to me. And then the last one that we're getting that we could also bet the under on is going to be Trevor under 2.5 shots on goal. So looking at, we are also getting minus 140 odds here, which are great odds. Okay, so we're getting 3 bets in NHL where we can favor the under odds that we're getting. I mean, how many times have I done a video lately in which we are getting several bets that are going to be minus 140? I mean, that's highly intriguing to me. And so yesterday, guys, I was 1 stroke off of JT for hitting 6 for 6 for the second time this week. That was painful. And that was in 2 different bets. Okay. And that's because PrizePicks and even Underdog as well, it's been 2 of my best days PGA-wise, or 2 of my best weeks PGA-wise in Underdog and PrizePicks with golf, because they've been having differences in their props. And the numbers that they've been throwing out there are kind of strange. So I want to pull up and kind of show you guys how the course is going to play today. So if we look at it, it's going to start out kind of cold today, okay? Not projected to be too windy at all. So we're not worrying about the wind. And looking at the pin placements, sure, there are some aggressive pin locations, like this is a tucked green, or that's a tucked pin, kind of a tucked pin, and that's going to be a tough hole to score on that par 3. Okay, I don't think many birdies are going to be made there. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at. Where can players make birdies from? This one's going to be tough. I mean, that's a very tough pin location. Here's another one we can see. They're trying to bring the water into play. You got to play it safe. That's going to be a tougher one. This par 3, it's fine. It's kind of tucked as well. Another tucked pin. So I think golfers are going to be able to score? Yes. But at the same time, it's going to be difficult to score. This 17 is going to be a fun hole because it's a drivable hole, and they obviously have the tucked pin. So if someone misses the green, they're going to have a chip, and they have to be aggressive with the chip pretty much. So it's going to be a fun Sunday finish, but just all interesting stuff there. So let's go ahead and pull up the PrizePicks prop board here. And once again, we can see that the strokes bets for the over are going to be the favorable ones to go with. Now, for me, I have kind of been mixing and matching it a little bit. We got some players at 69 for the strokes odds that I think is going to be the way to go for the under, which at the same time we could bet the over for players like Jordan. Jordan went 18 for 18 greens in regulation last round. That's not going to happen again. Like, the chances of him doing that, it's very low, I would say. So this is a situation in which I kind of think if we go with the 69, like Max Homa should be able to get under 69. Jason Day, potentially. This is just 2 under par. Okay, so these world-class players, I think, will be able to get to 2 under par. It's just, can they get to 3 under par? I don't see Jordan getting to 3 under par. Tom Kim, I don't see getting to 3 under par. Justin Thomas, that's one that you can make as well. So that's one way to go about doing it. You could also look at birdie or better. Do I see Justin Thomas, Victor Hovland, Jordan, Tom Kim scoring 5 birdies? Probably not. So I'd probably bet less birdies than that. Now, can they? They certainly can. Certainly within the realm of possibilities. I just think we are having Sunday pin locations. It's going to be harder for them to score. So I'm not saying that there's a particular bet that I want to make today for golf. There's just ways in which you can game it. You can bet the over in some situations. You can bet the under in some situations. What we're trying to do is bet on how the course is going to play. And so we don't exactly know that for sure. So this is one in which you could potentially stack it. You can stack it both ways. And so, guys, I don't know if we're going to get any more like discounted squares for PrizePicks NFL for the Super Bowl. If we do, that's going to be huge. But for now, let's just focus on the best prop bets that we're getting. Once again, I want the Malcolm Brogdon prop. But for now, we'll do under 3-pointers made for Jaden Ivey. Okay. And once again, that's just a number bet. Minus 145. Those are, to me, if I get minus 145 on a slate, that's just too good of a prop line for me not to bet. Okay. When they're matching up like this. And then Leon as well, we're betting the over 2.5 shots on goal because it's the exact same thing. Okay. It's one in which we are getting such a good line on it for the over minus 145 that I just feel like we need to make that. So those are going to be my two favorite bets of the day. All right, that's all for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give a like and subscribe. Let's have a good slate. Have a fun Super Bowl Sunday. I'll see you guys on Monday. And I will potentially be doing a live stream on Monday to kick off the PrizePicks coverage. All right, thanks for watching. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.